Hello and welcome to the Flory Model Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 17th of January 2024. Busy week this week. Obviously for members, you'll know we had a bit of a forum change to see what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not? A lot of you seem to change your mind now. They seem to like it. So we are going to have another poll, which will be up running in the forum now. By the time you see this, it'll be up and running. All right. This is the last poll. We don't need any comments about it. So don't start ranting and raving about it and throwing your views in. Literally just let the poll do its bit. Go up there, and then obviously what we'll do, I'll let it run to Sunday night, and then next week, whatever it says, we will go for. All right. So consequently, if it says that it's, a 51 to 49 split, which pretty much always was last time, whichever is the winning one is the one we're going to go for. So I personally, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I was just trying to make it easier for other people. And apparently it seems to be, definitely for mobile users, it's a lot easier with the new format as well. So again, doesn't mean anything to non-members, sorry. But from that point of view, we want to get this one done and dusted, and then we can just get on with modeling at the end of the day. Because to be honest with you, I've spent pretty much half this week sorting out everything with the forum and trying to get it all okay and everything else like that. Time's been taken away from working on this, definitely, and on other projects. And then to go for today as well, when I came down and after a nice update, I've got no sound. So I recorded an entire review, only to find out I had no audio for it. So I had to record it all again. So again, definitely I'm in one of those things at the moment where everything is fighting me. It just feels like I'm fighting a fire, So, but yes, we are getting there. Anyway, Nimrod. As you can see, it's coming along the beautiful lines of a Nimrod or a comet, whichever way you want to look at it. Again, really very, very nice. The aircraft itself and the kit going together, it's got a few challenges. I'm not going to lie. There's a few problems. Nothing that, a bit of dry fitting, time doesn't fit. But again, you can see how this is the cusp of old airfix, shall we say. Sort of a 90s aircraft rather than going into the 2000s, things like that and onwards as we've seen. So again, it's got some of those old problems. The biggest problem is I've deckled the underside, but I haven't done the top side yet because the decals are fighting me everywhere I go. These are the old school decals. So they're not in register and they've got this awful double carrier film thing going on. So it's got carrier film underneath, but there's a carrier film on top and you have to get rid of it. So it makes it difficult for small little decals. They come off in one chunk. So you're like, oh, great, thanks. Now you've got to try and break them up, clean them up before you get them on. And because they're very thin and very old, again, I'm getting some damages caused from that as well. So it's one of those things, just taking my time. Anyway, underside's done. So now we've just got to get the top side done and the sides and everything else like that. I'm going to be working over this over the weekend as well. So plan of action is I'm going to get this finished at the weekend because once it's deckled, it's then going to have a satin finish to it. Once it's had a satin coat, it can have a weathering wash, a few little bits of weathering, not too much before. I'm going to mount this thing onto a nice stand as well, and then it can go off to its new home. So yeah, very, very nice. Anyway, that's where we start. So Monday saw part 4. This particular one going up. And again, it's one of those ones. So going back in time a little bit, we're still dealing with some seam lines and some fit issues and things like that. So again, taking care, getting the old filler out, unfortunately, and then sanding back and then polishing up to get rid of those ones as well. A nasty step at the back we had to get rid of, and a few joins around on this one where we had to get the right, it's dihedral, isn't it? I think, is it? Yes, dihedral where the wings bend up. And hedral, I think, is when they go down. So anyway, it left a pretty nasty gap. So we had some filler work underneath onto that one to take care of. And then out came the electric sander. It was that bad. And then took care of that. Then we closed up the wheel well door. So my usual little trick, using a little bit of putty just down inside. And then obviously the doors can rest against that as the glue is drying. And we can get the doors all put in there just like that. With that all done, we can move over to the spray booth. So light fasting all the clear parts and seam checking as well. So we just got in there with a little bit of flat black just to make sure we were happy how that was going. Check those big old seam lines down the engines as well to make sure they're all good. They were. Then we will use something I've never used before, and this is the Aqueous Surfacer 1000. Now this stuff, I have to say, is really, really nice. It goes down fantastic. So I went the whole hog with this. So I used a little bit of Tamiya's X20A acrylic thinners. Obviously they're alcohol based, it's IPA, and I mixed it 50-50 with this. That's literally what it was. It's a 50-50 mix, and sprayed it, and it went on brilliant, no problem at all. It went down just the standard way as normal Mr. Surfacer 1000 would go and all the rest of it, but obviously you don't have the smell. and all the rest of it. Drying times really quick, no problem at all. We were good to go within half an hour of following coats and for handling and stuff like that. So again, I can highly recommend it. If you haven't used it before, you can have that one. There we go, chucking that one down right the way over it. Nice generous coats down those seam lines, letting those self-level. And again, we were left with something I thought tidied up very, very nicely with those ones. So with that done as well, as you can see, it gives a really nice finish. Nice satin finish. We did discover we had a couple of little blemishes on board. So this is some of those ones where I did some hole filling and obviously didn't fill enough. So again, time to get these ones out. So we came in there with a little bit of Mr. Surfacer. That's down in there, and then obviously let that one go. And then afterwards we were looking at paint. So for paint for this particular one, we had a little bit of a fight. So first of all, we thought about using various colors, but we ended up going along with the Hataka C217 for this one, purely because the other colors, they are so vague, and we do a little bit of show different versions from different camera angles of the real aircraft and how different colors they can be. Anyway, with that done, it was time to get the paintwork on. So literally we were just spraying down with that one, and that is as far as you get with that one. And here she is right now. So yes, there it is. I know we're a little bit of a zoomed in angle, but here she is. She is done and painted. So the next part for this particular one, which will be up with you on Monday, is going to cover you really getting to here. So we're going to be talking about masking it up, getting the white coat onto it, and then obviously going through the versions with the decals and stuff like that. Again, there'll be another part on the following Monday where we go through on this one to really get it going. But generally though, I have to say it's a pleasurable thing. I don't really do airliners and big stuff like this normally, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed this one. So we've got some things to do yet. We need to put the paint job on top of the light stand in here. Obviously, there's a few little touch-ups and little things to do on here, but generally, we've definitely got a Nimrod at the end of the day. So yes, coming along very nicely with that one. And then once this one's done next week, I've got a few little jobs and bits and pieces to catch up on. But what I do want to do is obviously then start on the next build, which we are doing the ornithopter as well from June. So again, kit going together is going to be quite shake and bake, I think, within a day, but then it's all going to be about painting, weathering and stuff like that. So again, we can do something very nice with that one as well. So Tuesday's daily vlog was up for the members as well. So down in here, we obviously were looking at the Nimrod. We're talking about cling filming it together to do the paintwork and all things like that, going through the motions of it. And obviously we're talking a lot about the actual forum, some of the polls for the voting and how that was going as well, and so forth and so on as that was happening. Obviously we were talking about somewhere down in here as well, obviously Airfix releases and my predictions for it, which I'm happy to say pretty much were spot on as well. So again, we were keeping an eye out for all of those ones down in there. So if you want to go off and see that one, members, you can see that one is now. All right. 15th, I had a huge delivery in, as you could see. So down in here, we were literally at it. First of all, we were talking about the forum. Obviously, down in here, we've got the new format forum and all the rest of it. Obviously, we were testing it out, seeing what it was like and various things, and you guys were giving your feedback to that one. Then, obviously, we're talking about the Nimrod. I was talking about the decals being truly bad and having to fight with those and get those all in and everything else like that. So that was down in there. And then we were talking about all the deliveries had in. So I did a sort of live unboxing down in here. As you can see. So first of all, we ended up with that Junkers corrugated wonder without the windscreen we often talk about, because I'm really interested in having that kit and also building that kit as well. And then obviously we were talking about the Black Hawk. So Black Hawk came down and all the rest of it like that. Then we had a huge restock for DSP. From the display stuff from the lovely Karine over at Breveco. So we're going through that. So we had the tweezers in, we've got the carving tape in, and all of this will be appearing on the store in the next few days. So we were talking about all of that. We had various stuff down in here. Tweezers, I've got the circle cutters back in. I've got the giant, where is it? This thing. Which is obviously for doing a chopper for cutting, plastic card and stuff like that. And obviously you do like wood with it, balsa wood and stuff as well. So yes, got that one in. I'll do a review of that this week. That'll be up on till Tuesday for that particular one right the way through. All right. So anyway, that was Tuesday's show. You can go off and see that one now. Then obviously the return of the PM show. So yes, the PM show is back. Me and Matt. The last time we did one of these was in the 20th of December, 2023. So it's been away for over a year, but it has come back, and wow, we came back with a bit of a bang for this particular one. So yes, me and Matt back at it again, answering all your questions, having a few laughs with it. And the big obviously thing, we were talking about how PM models has changed, how it's changing a little bit more this year, and how things are going with there. And then obviously we were going through the entire thing of the new releases or the things to come from Airfix for their 2025 range. So we were discussing all of those ones as well down in here and going through. I've added more photos to this one as well. So again, you can see all the ones, and we're discussing the kit releases and what's happening with them and where they're going with it, so forth and so on as well. And things like the lovely Stalwart, which was down here as well, which obviously completely took me left field. Great bit of kit, fun bit of kit at the end of the day. And I imagine that's going to be quite a fun build as well. So, and again, looks very, very nice in the flesh, as well as obviously a little bit of box art and CAD work as well. So yeah, anyway, you can go through this and all the other ones that we're discussing down in there as well. You can pop in, and as I say, we cover pretty much all the subjects right the way through, as you can imagine, and obviously some of their older stuff coming back, and we were looking at those ones as well, plus the fact some of the other manufacturers that are what they're releasing this year as well, and what we can all get excited about. Now, the PM show itself isn't actually on a Flory Models YouTube page. You're going to have to go to the PM Models YouTube page, and I will link it down below. All right, so if you want to see that one, you can just... Amber, shut up! Oi! Shush! 3, 2, 1. So the big thing is, if you want to watch this particular show, you can come over to the Flory Models site and you can see it's on there, but you won't be able to find it on the Flory Models YouTube page because this isn't actually a Flory Models production, although I did produce it. It's actually been put onto the PM Models YouTube page. So if you want to catch up with that one, you can do. All right, I will link it down below, so you can just follow the link and go off and find it that way. If not, you can just pop along to the actual Flory Models site. So if you just pop along here and go to vlogs, all right, down in here, you will see it here. If you click down in here, it's here. And obviously you can just pop along if you wanted to the actual PM store. It's obviously full of adverts. There we go. And you can get it from the actual PM store just down in there where you'll find them. So all of the new videos from the actual PM store and PM shows will appear now on the PM Models UK YouTube page. All right, so if you want to catch up with that one, you can do just like that. And that basically gets us up to today, where we've actually got the review at last for the Black Hawk from ICM. Now, this is a great kit. Again, it's one of those, don't take too much about the instructions. They look a little bit busy, but a lot of it is because it's duplicate stuff. Although putting together these seats does look to be a bit of a chore, I won't lie. So I'll probably do mine as an open cabin. All right. But again, you've got various details into this one, which are absolutely fantastic. Not much going on in the interior. Obviously, there's no engine, things like that, because obviously this is 48 scale. All right. But what you have got, though, is some absolutely beautiful detailing on the outside. Raised rivets, beautiful, crisp, refined recessed details as well, and panel lining. And again, just looks to be very, very nicely done. I would say the riveting looks to be, to my eye anyway, definitely in scale. Again, it's going to be a little bit of a thing. Hopefully this thing goes together pretty seamless. I would like to pop it together just to see, because again, I do talk about the way that this kit particularly goes together, its issues, things like that. And obviously the clear parts, I'm not a fan of the way that the clear parts are literally framed right up, so very, very close like this. I like to have a little bit of meat on the bone for doing sanding work, and I talk about that in the review as well. But again, if you do want to go off and have a look at this one, you can do. It's up on the site right now. Literally, you can pop in, and obviously down in here, we've got these high-res photos. So just click on them, and you can have a look at stuff in a lot more detail as well. All right, so you can catch all of those. Those are up with you right now. And that is about it for this week. But I can leave you with an absolutely fantastic SIG that we did the end of last year, which was called the Scheme B. Basically, the members from Flory Models picked any kit they liked, but they had to do the B scheme from the decal options inside the kit and then use those particular ones. And we ended up some absolutely fantastic ones, as you can see in a minute. It's quite a long video because I think there's about 70 odd entries into this one, but it's definitely well worth sticking around and having a look. Anyway, that's it from me. Happy modelling. Take care. Catch you all next week.